Hey everybody, this is CPR43 with a new update for you guys. So, finally getting an update out. It's New Year's Day, so Happy New Year's to all, 2015. Hope it'll be a great year for me, a great year for all of you, and everybody. So, to get started with this New Year's Day update, I'd like to show you guys just some new stuff that I got, including a new locomotive, and you guys will see that in just a sec. But first I want to go over the GP9, which I finished up some of the deckling that I had done. So I had started the numberboard decals on the other side and never had them finished in the last update, which was on Boxing Day. Finally got them finished, and they look really nice. So I'm really happy with my numberboard deckling skills, and that's a great way to start out, I guess, working with the more tedious stuff. And once you get onto the more basic, bigger decals like the road name, becomes really easy. So now I'm going to show you guys the new locomotive that I got. So we're just going to flip the camera around from the GP9 and take a look at this puppy. So here it is. This is the locomotive I've had on hold since, I think early October. This is the Rapido GMD1. It is the DC version of the, came out of the box as 1012, but I renumbered it just a few days ago to 1063. And I will actually get a review out to you guys, hopefully right after this video, of the GMD1, and I'll go over all the details on this thing and whatnot. I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. So just in the background there, I've got the box that it came in. So looks really good. So I'm going to show you all its cool features and stuff like that in the review. So be on the lookout for that after this update. So now we're going to move on to the GP38, which I have some news about that. So let's go over here. So there's the GP38, and before it was in all a nice gray paint, ready for the Tuscan red. I actually couldn't get Tuscan red, but the hobby shop had the Tamiya color spray, and this is the maroon. I'd actually tested some of the stuff, and it looks really good. So really close. It's a bit darker than the Tuscan red, or as the should be, but it's really close. And if you know how to fade stuff, it should be fadeable. And I bet once this stuff fades, it's almost the exact same. So I'll be using this instead of Tuscan red. I also picked up another Tamiya color spray. It's the black, and that's just to do the walkways, the pilots, and all the stuff that needs black. So, but we'll move on to the shell here. So I got it sitting in this little dish of rubbing alcohol, and I'll explain to you why it's out of its gray scheme and back to red. I had sprayed on, I guess, a little bit too much for those first few sprays, and it didn't look very good, to be quite honest with you guys. So what I'm doing is I'm stripping all the paint off again, and I'm going to redo it. And it's going to be a longer process, but you have to work with the spray, and it's not like an airbrush for sure. Although I've never used an airbrush again, but that's pretty much what's happening. So it's going to be a very slow process getting it repainted, but the doing it nice and slowly will yield the best results. So, but yeah, I had way too heavy paint on it. After realizing that, I was going to spray on the maroon, and when I sprayed on the maroon, had it all taped and masked off for that, and after the first coat, it didn't look very good at all. So, and a dull coat probably wouldn't have fixed it either. So that's why I'm removing the paint and going to start again. But in the meantime, everything's going great with that. So looking forward to finishing that up. And I did actually, one piece of the GP38 turned out actually quite nice. This is the dynamic brake housing, and I actually kept it in the red, and it actually turned out really nice. As you can see in the with the light shining on it, the texture is real nice actually. So this is pretty much what I'm going to be going for. Looks really good. You can still see a little bit of red in there, some red highlights, but once I get on the more spray and stuff like that, it'll look much better. But that's the maroon for you, and yeah, a bit darker than it should be, but it's okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry about the short update, but it's pretty much all I can give you guys, and so on. So I hope you all are having a great New Year's Day, and I look forward to seeing you later in 2015. And I'll get out that GMD1 review as soon as possible. So until next time, this is CPR43, and good luck.